Hey YouTube, it's Justin, aka Demonic Sweaters, here with another electronic drum product review. Today we're going to be taking a look at this Lemon hi-hat and hi-hat controller. You can pick these up on Alibaba.com, it's where I ordered mine, and they show up pretty quickly. Now, Lemon electronic cymbals are actually pretty nice. I have two of them already on my set behind me. I have a ride cymbal, a 3-zone ride cymbal, and then a 2-zone crash cymbal over here, and I'm very happy with them. They work really, really well. And my current hi-hats are Roland VH-11s, and so I picked these up to try to see how they would compare to the VH-11s and if they were as good as the other Lemon cymbals out there. Before we get started though, if you like these kind of videos, check out my record label, which is anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com, and the best way to support this channel is by purchasing something there. So that'll really help me out. I have 2 new CDs that just came out, one by Demonic Sweaters and one by my other project, which is called Manasota. So if you pick one of those up, they're both very reasonably priced. That will help me continue making videos like this in the future. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Now, a couple of things that I noticed when I first opened the hi-hat is it actually didn't come with the clutch. I had to use a regular standard hi-hat clutch on here. However, it does come with this little piece that connects to the bottom of a regular standard hi-hat clutch. And when I first opened the package, I didn't quite understand how to use it because it didn't come with any instructions or anything like that. So basically I made a video as I was doing that, and I'm gonna go back and show you guys basically how to put this whole thing together and how to set it up and what my initial thoughts when I first opened up the package and just a little bit of confusion I had about it when I first opened it up. Now, the hi-hat controller itself is very nice. This part of it is very, very good. I believe it's very well made. It's got a solid metal bottom and metal top here, so it's a lot more heavy duty than something like a Go E-Drum hi-hat controller. It's actually quite similar to the Roland VH-11 hi-hat controller, which I have right over there. And strangely, it even says VH-11 on the barcode down here, but it's not the same thing at all. Like, I've compared the two and they're actually pretty different. So I don't really know why they're printing VH-11 on this actual controller, but hey, I don't know. Anyway, it is a Lemon hi-hat controller, and that part of it is pretty nice. The top cymbal is actually pretty decent too. However, this really is just the same as the other Lemon cymbals, like the regular 2-zone crash cymbals that they make. It's just a little bit smaller than the other one that I have right here, which I believe is a 14. I think this one is an 11 or a 12, something like that. And the only problem with this cymbal is the way that it moves when you hit it. Basically, this inner part right here is very flexible, and it tends to be pretty darn bouncy when you're playing the hi-hat, and I don't really like that very much. I'm gonna show you guys what I mean when I'm playing, but other than that, it does function pretty well. Actually, really well. I mean, it functions pretty much exactly like the VH-11. It just feels kind of strange when you're playing it because it's so bouncy. But anyway, I'm going to show you guys the video I made earlier when I unboxed it and I was figuring out the clutch, and then I'm going to show you guys some playing, and just so you can see how much it actually bounces when you play. So even though that hole doesn't look big enough for a standard hi-hat clutch to fit through, it actually will. You just have to kind of push it through there a little bit. And then once you push it through, the rubber stretches enough for it to go through, and it's actually not that hard. All right, so the other thing I realized, and kind of felt like an idiot afterwards, is this piece is actually large enough to fit over a hi-hat clutch piece. So basically what you do is you force this through the cymbal, and then you use this as your bottom part of the clutch, and you have to get it on there far enough to tighten this little Allen wrench right here. So in order to do that, basically on my clutch, this piece only is long enough if I take off pretty much everything except for the top washer. And then what I'm going to do is actually flip that top washer around so I have the big side facing the cymbal, and then put the cymbal on and then screw on the bottom part of the electronic clutch. And then all should be good after doing that. But it was a little bit confusing in the beginning because I saw that, I saw this piece and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? I didn't quite get it. It didn't come with any kind of instructions at all, but if this works, it's actually kind of ingenious, and it's a lot more simple than the Roland version, which has this complicated, special proprietary type of hi-hat clutch, whereas this, all you need is basically, just a standard hi-hat clutch and then the piece that they send along with it, and you can pretty much make your own out of those parts. So pretty neat. So we'll see if it works. All right, so once you basically take off all those extra parts, that does work pretty much exactly as I thought it would. And so that's pretty cool. The only drawback here is it really, it just barely fits. You know, any more or any less space, this wouldn't work, because one of the problems here is when you turn the wing nut now, basically it touches the hi-hat there. You can see it's actually touching the rubber, but you can still tighten it. It's not so bad to where you can't tighten it, because this is flexible anyways. So it should still work just fine. And if you had a different hi-hat clutch that had a little more of that, you know, that tube than mine, I believe this is a Tama, or this might be a replacement Gibraltar. I can't remember. I just had one lying around. But depending on which type of clutch you have, you might have different, you know, mileage on, you know, your tube. I don't know how else to say it, but, you know, it may work better or worse for you depending on what kind of clutch you have. But it does work. And then, as you can see, that puts that down pretty much flush with the bottom, which will allow it to depress the hi-hat controller. So as you can see, the hi-hat does flop around quite a bit when you're playing, and it's kind of distracting. Honestly, I don't think I will be using this as it is. I like the controller part of it a lot, but I need to figure out some way to make this thing stop bouncing as much. Now, one of the things I thought is maybe I could get like some kind of large washer to put here underneath the clutch, and maybe that will keep it from flopping quite as much. The other thing I was thinking is maybe just replacing the top hi-hat pad altogether and save this as like an extra crash pad, because I think it'll work well for that. But as a hi-hat cymbal, I don't really think it works that well. So anyway, that's my review of the Lemon hi-hats. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I think it's a decent buy. It's only $100. If you just want a nice controller, I think it's pretty much worth it for that. This controller does seem to work just as well as the VH-11 hi-hat controller. So I really don't see too much of a difference between them, and I think it's a little bit nicer than the Go eDrum controller. So maybe they should offer selling these alone without the top hi-hat cymbal. I think maybe that would be a little bit better. Not that this is horrible, but you know, it's a nice cymbal. It's nicely made. It's just the bouncing. Maybe it won't bother you as much. Maybe if you're using like lighter sticks or something like that. But to me, it's pretty irritating to play with it bouncing that much. It really just kind of vibrates the whole stand and drives me a little bit crazy. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below what you think about the lemon hi-hat or lemon cymbals in general. And thanks for watching, as always. Have a great weekend.